A very good afternoon, students. In these slides, we will discuss the insertion and deletion operations in the array. When we say insertion, it means adding a new element to the array. And when we say deletion, it means removing an existing element from the array. So for example, we have this array with us. In this array, if I want to remove the name Gurpreet, that is deletion. And if I want to add a new name to this list, like if say I want to add a name Devesh, then that is insertion. Now since this list is in alphabetical order, the insertion will be made at the place which is suitable for the item to be inserted or deleted. For example, suppose in this array which is of size 10, total number of slots that are occupied is 7. From 0 to 6 we have occupied. So total number of slots occupied is 7 and the vacant positions are 3. Now if you want to add the element Devesh, so in alphabetical order, this name starts with A, this starts with A, this starts with A, this starts with D. So below this the insertion will be made because this starts with G. And why below this? Because here Dev is common in both the names, but here this fourth character is a and here the fourth character is a E, so this value is larger. Therefore, we will make an insertion after Devashish. So what we have to do, we have to write at this position. So this position has to be made vacant. So in order to make this vacant, we will shift the elements one position down. Now if I shift Gurpreet to Priyanka first, then Priyanka will be lost. And then if what I will copy from here to this location, again Gurpreet will be copied. That means I cannot copy from top to down. I have to copy from down up to down. I cannot copy like this from location to location plus 1, but I have to copy from n to n plus 1, then from n minus 1 to n, and so on. So what I have to do, I have to copy A6 to A7. So this is n minus 1 to n, then n minus 2 to n minus 1, n minus 3 to n minus 2. This way I will copy, and then finally I will copy Devesh to the empty location A4. So I have to shift the elements in the reverse order. The loop has to run from n to location. And then after the element has been added, I will increase the total number of elements by 1. The total number of elements instead of 7 will become 8. So this is what we will do in this algorithm. First, we will check for the overflow that the location that we have specified. Suppose I say that the insertion is to be made at A8. Suppose I specify the location as 8. So now I cannot make the insertion here because this slot is still vacant. So whatever location we specify for insertion, that has to be smaller than the size as well as either equal or smaller than n. So that condition has to be checked first for the overflow. And if overflow is not there, then we will run the loop for copying the elements downwards. And then we will place the item at the location and increment the total number of elements by 1. So there are 4 things involved. First is check for overflow. Then shift the elements down. Then we will copy the element at the location. And lastly, we will increment the n by 1. So these 4 operations are performed here. First, overflow is checked. If location is more than size or location is more than n plus 1, then an overflow has occurred. Otherwise, from n minus 1 to location, we will copy ARR of I, which is n minus 1, to ARR of n, and then n minus 2 to n minus 1, n minus 3 to n minus 2, and so on. This way we will keep on copying till we reach the location, so that the location becomes empty. And then we will simply copy the item that we want to add in the array at the location and then increment the value of n by 1. All these parameters I have received here from the calling function: the array, the number of elements, size, location, and the item that is to be added. Then This is a C language function which implements the insertion operation. So here we are checking for the overflow, then we are running the loop, we are copying the elements using string copy, and finally we are incrementing the value by 1. Similarly, in deletion, suppose I want to delete the name Gurpreet, so I have to shift all the values upwards. In deletion, I don't have to make a lot of operations. Only thing is, I will replace Gurpreet by Priyanka and Priyanka by Zior, and Zior will be marked as blank, and we have deleted the element, and finally we will decrement the value of n by 1. So in the deletion is way simpler than insertion. Here only two operations are there and one is underflow checking. So we receive the array, number of elements in the array, size of the array, and the location where the deletion is to be made. So in our case, we have to delete Gurpreet. Its location is 4. So what we will do, first we will check. Now again the location has to be within the size and the n, because we cannot delete something that doesn't exist. So we will check for the underflow, and then from location till n minus 1. Now in this case the loop will run in the correct ascending order from the smaller to the larger. Like in the previous case in insertion, we have run the loop from larger value to smaller, but in deletion we will run the loop from smaller value to larger. So the value at location will be replaced by a value above it, and then similarly the loop will continue. So we are copying from location to n minus 1. ARR of I is equal to ARR of I plus 1. So the bottom element is copied into the upper element. And when this loop is finished, we will simply decrement the number of elements by 1 to indicate that an element has been deleted. So underflow, then the copying of, upwards copying of the elements, and then the deletion or decrementing of the value of n by 1. Same thing we have done here for a C program. C function is there for this particular array. So again we are checking for the location. So if the location is invalid, the similar appropriate message will be displayed. Otherwise, from location to n minus 1, using string copy, we will copy the elements and then we will decrement the number of elements by 1. I hope the topic is clear. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you.